Okay, so like, have you ever stopped to think about the little brains inside all our devices? You know,
Yeah, like the processors in our phones, laptops, everything.
yeah, like they're doing all this heavy lifting
Yeah,
and we kind of take them for granted.
totally. Until something goes slow and then we notice.
Right. But something big happened in the processor world recently, and it's Intel.
Intel, yeah.
They completely ditched their whole like i3, i5, i7 naming system,
Yeah.
the one we all got used to.
Yeah, it's been around forever.
Right. And now they've launched this new line called Core Ultra.
Yep. Core Ultra. Sounds kind of fancy, right?
It does. So we've been digging into some articles and stuff about it, and it seems like it's more than just a name change, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a pretty fundamental shift in how they're approaching processor design, like how they're thinking about the future of computing.
Okay, so this deep dive, we got to figure out what's really different. Not just marketing fluff, but like, what does it mean for us?
Yeah,
The people actually using these devices.
definitely. And to your point, it does seem like a bigger leap than their usual incremental updates.
Right. Like from whatever to ultra feels almost like a superhero origin story or something.
Uh-huh, yeah. And the articles we have suggest that it's a pretty big change under the hood.
Okay, so walk me through it. What's the biggest change?
So one of the most interesting things is that they're now using two different types of cores within the same processor.
Two different, like, what does that even mean? Like cores?
Yeah, like processing cores. They have these P cores, which are all about performance.
Okay, so that makes sense. Power, performance, got it.
Exactly. Those are for your heavy-duty tasks, video editing, gaming, anything that needs a lot of muscle.
Uh-huh. And then the other type.
Those are called E-cores, and they're designed for efficiency. So things like web browsing, checking email, background tasks, that kind of stuff.
So is it like my laptop is going to have like a team of sprinters, the P cores, and then a bunch of marathon runners, the E cores, just kind of chugging along?
That's a great analogy. Yeah, the system will basically choose which cores to use depending on what you're doing.
Huh, smart. So if I'm like just writing email, it'll use the E cores to save battery.
Exactly. But if you fire up a big video game, it'll kick the P cores into gear.
And it'll just like seamlessly switch between them.
That's the goal, yeah. But it does raise some questions like, what does this mean for developers? Will they have to optimize their apps to take advantage of this new architecture?
That's a good point. And are there any downsides? Like, could it make things more complicated or lead to compatibility issues?
Yeah, those are definitely things to watch out for as this technology rolls out.
Makes sense. Okay, so two core types. That's one big change. What else?
Well, the other thing that's getting a lot of buzz is the integrated AI.
Ah, right, the neural processing unit, or NPU, they're calling it.
Yeah, that sounds super futuristic, right?
It does, but what is it actually DO? Like, how will I notice that in my everyday life?
Okay, so imagine you're editing a photo and you want to remove the background.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
With the NPU, the app could do that instantly, like analyze the image and isolate the subject super fast.
No way. So it's basically using AI to speed up tasks like that.
Exactly. And it can also improve voice assistants. Like, imagine them actually understanding your intent, not just your words.
Whoa. So it's like having a tiny AI brain living inside my computer.
Pretty much.
That's both awesome and slightly terrifying at the same time. Like, what about privacy? If my device is constantly analyzing what I'm doing, where is all that data going?
Yeah, that's a huge question. And it's something Intel and device manufacturers are going to have to be very transparent about. As AI gets more powerful, data privacy becomes even more important.
For sure. Okay, so besides the whole AI thing, everyone's always talking about battery life. Like, is this going to help with that?
Definitely. Another key focus with Core Ultra is power efficiency. They're talking about big improvements in performance per watt.
Okay, translate that for me. Does that just mean longer battery life?
It means longer battery life, but also things like cooler devices, quieter fans, less energy wasted as heat.
Got it. So basically it's doing more with less power? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And they're also making it compatible with all the latest tech like DDR5 memory and PCIe 5.0.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. All that tech jargon kind of makes my head spin. What's the takeaway for someone who's not, like, a computer engineer?
Basically, it means Core Ultra is built for the future. As software gets more demanding, these new memory and connection technologies will allow your device to keep up.
So it's about future-proofing. Makes sense.
Yep. They're trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Okay, so this is way more than just a new name. It's like Intel's rethinking how we use computers.
Yeah. And it really makes you think, like, what's next? If processing power is changing this fast, what will our devices be capable of in a few years?
Right, like will we all have AI assistants built right into our phones?
Right.
Or will we even be using phones anymore? Who knows?
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting to think about.
It is. Exciting and maybe a little bit scary.
Haha. Yeah. So, listeners, what do you think about all this? Does this change what you'll look for in a new laptop or phone? Let us know. And if you want to learn more about Core Ultra, we've got links to some of the articles we used in the show notes. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.